AI, ChatGPT, and promoting your podcast. If that sounds interesting to you, then you're going to want to stick around because today we are talking about the ChatGPT 4.0 update, which is their new image processor, the way that they make images using ChatGPT. Prior to this update, it would make images that had weird, funky text in it, but now can actually do text on an image. And I think it can make you a lot of traffic for your social media and if you're trying to promote specific shows. So if that sounds good, smash the like button. I got my cup of coffee here. Let's dive in. So if you've ever struggled with your social media and you're trying to figure out like what to post and what to come up with and blah de da, and you're not really sure how to angle it, I want you to take a look at ChatGPT 4.0 because they've done a new update with their image creator. So let's just say that you had a podcast about stocks and stock news, right? We could actually pull up the latest stock news for the week and we can just see like, GM and Ford and all the stocks are down because the world is ending, right? But what we can do is we could pull an example from this and we can actually start creating content from the news. So if you can actually tie your podcast episode, whatever that is, into what the news and what's trending now, first of all, it's going to get you found in search a lot faster, but also it's going to be interesting content that people that would be interested in your stock podcast would also find interesting just in the news as well. So we're kind of trying to like do two things at once. And what I want to do here is I'll pull up YouTube and we'll just find something that talks about stock news and I'll use that as my example. Okay, so stock news, and you can use this for like crypto, pretty much anything at all. Let's see here. Let's find something that has some decent views. Let's see, 14,000 views. It's like a 5-hour thing that's too long. 10 hours. No. We want something maybe in like the 30-minute range. Auto stocks take a hit. This is all news. Let's see, stocks. Best stock performers. Let's try that. All right, so this guy, 10 best stocks to buy now. This is a great example, okay?
You may think that
what we're going to do is we're going to, obviously we don't have the rights to this, so we're not going to like publish this anywhere. But what you can do is you could actually pull up a transcript right from YouTube. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the transcript. Whoops. We're going to take the transcript here, drag and drop all the way down, right to there, copy. Okay. And now we're going to actually, we'll pull up DeepSeek, which is the Chinese AI. And what DeepSeek is really good at is it's really good at understanding intent and what people are actually looking for. So we could say like, research, tell me about the top stocks. Actually, let's do this. What is the search intent for someone looking up the top stocks this week? All right. So while that's working, it's going to start thinking and processing it. Okay. We're going to jump over to ChatGPT and we're going to say kind of the same thing, but a little different. We're going to say, I have a podcast about stocks, news. Let's do stock news, like what to invest with, etc. Okay. Take a look at my transcript. Now we're going to paste that in. We're going to let that roll out an answer. Let's jump back to DeepSeek. Now it's going to give us our results here. So like search intent for somebody looking up the top stocks this week. Short-term financial decision-making, market awareness, identify high-performing stocks, spot trends or sectors, all this good stuff, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to copy this as well. And we're going to start assembling it in ChatGPT, all right? So we've got our transcript in here. And, your podcast transcript is solid. It covers bullish and bearish perspectives, etc. You want to structure it for readability. Okay. Now we're going to say, if I wanted to create 10 clickbaity headlines for my social media, what might they look like? Okay, so now we're just going to get some title ideas. While that runs, okay, so we've got recession ahead. These 3 stocks could save your portfolio. Now, I want you to realize something. When you're creating your podcast and you're delivering the news to people, right? You are basically publishing it in a couple of places, generally speaking. YouTube, if you're on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever. Your actual exposure for getting found is kind of narrow because you're just posting on those platforms themselves. Now, yes, your episodes can end up ranking in Google for certain search terms. We've gone over that in other videos. But if you really want to start getting people interested in your show, it's stuff like this that's going to get people interested in wanting to learn more about whatever it is. So, like recession ahead, these 3 stocks could save your portfolio. Obviously, you'd want to position that to be accurate to your podcast episode. But let's say you are talking about the recession and you're talking about the top stocks or the things not to buy or get out of the stock market, anything like that, this is going to give you a lot of ideas of what you can run with. So, like sell now or hold, the truth about the next market crash. This $5 stock could turn into the next Tesla. Are you in? This is great stuff for social media. Now, we're going to paste in what we got from DeepSeek, and we're going to see what it comes back with. So this is like a solid breakdown of the search intent, okay? So clickbait style. And you got to keep in mind, like clickbait it's not a bad thing as long as you deliver on the promise. So like if you're saying, 3 stocks that crushed it this week and 2 that tanked, you obviously want to provide that first thing in your podcast, whatever that is. You don't want to do a bait and switch. Bait and switch is bad, but if you're doing it honestly and you're just getting people to click because this is really good content, it's actually going to help them, then that's a different thing and it actually starts to work really, really, really well. So we've got here some great stuff, okay? So now let's just take this, okay? So this week's hottest stocks, don't miss these picks. Let's say, all right, so let's do this. Research the top 5 stocks from this past week, okay? Let's just see what comes back. And then we're going to use this in conjunction with the clickbaity headlines to create our post. All right, so Tesla, they've risen. Okay, so let's just verify this really quick because Tesla's been up and down. Tesla. Okay, so Tesla's kind of had a bumpy ride, but they are up. So we are accurate with that, okay? Want to make sure we're doing good stuff. So using Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's been okay, so all these are pretty good. So using these stock symbols, all right? Let's do we'll do a Facebook visual post. So using these stock symbols, make a Facebook post image using image that plays into, and we'll pick a headline, 3 stocks that crushed it this week and 2 that tanked, okay? And let's see what it comes up with because this is going to be really interesting. And one thing to keep in mind is when you're trying to create posts for things, it's really about getting somebody interested and getting that engagement because the engagement is really what it's all about. If you could get somebody to comment, to have some kind of a connection to whatever it is that you're posting, that's going to make a big difference between just like posting informational stuff like, one-sided conversations. So like, these were the top 5 stocks of this week. Okay, well, that's just straight up information, Tesla, NBC, or whatever. Like, you name the stocks, and then there's no feedback. There's no actual reason for anybody to get involved. But when you have something like this is actually coming out really interesting. then you can start getting people interested. Okay, so we've got 3 stocks that crushed it this week and 2 that tanked. It literally did it. And I'm just so impressed, by the way, with how the visuals come out with this, because it can actually do text on an image, which is just fantastic. So we've got Tesla, CTAS, Chewy going up, DLTR, IHS going down. That's pretty good. Now we could say, this is great. Please add a call to action at the bottom to leave a comment on how your portfolio did this week. And now we're actually getting engaged with people where somebody's going to say, hey, my stocks did awful. This did really well. This was, they said to buy it and it actually went down. All stuff like that is going to help get that engagement. It's going to help drive people to your podcast. Now, obviously, you can drive people directly to the episode itself if you want to just link straight to that. Or my recommendation is you actually send them to your website with that actual blog post with the episode on the page. So while this is generating, I'll show you an example. We're going to pull up Crime Junkie because they are just a fantastic example of this. I keep bringing them up. But if we went to their episodes here, and I'll just pick a random one, what I would do is I would link, let's say you're doing this post, whatever this is, I would link directly to this blog post. And then that way you have a chance to capture, like they're capturing phone numbers right here. So you have an opportunity to collect their contact information, email, phone, stuff like that. They can actually play the episode right here. They can read all about it. And there's a much higher chance that they're going to engage with the content in a deeper way. They're not going to just listen for 30 seconds and tune right out. If they're actually reading the story, understanding what this is about, and seeing all the different moving parts to this very in-depth story. And what's great about doing something like this is you can make all kinds of cool graphics that will draw people into your show. So we'll just open up another ChatGPT here, and I'll show you. I'll keep that one open just so that we don't miss it. But for instance, like if you had a show that was about, let's stick with the stock thing, right? JP Morgan looks to cuts outlook for GM, Ford, etc., right? So what we can do is we can take all this. Let's say you had an episode that actually covered this topic, okay? We could just drop it into ChatGPT. And this is in light of not actually having a transcript to show you with, okay? All right, so we've got the 25% tariffs. Everybody's freaking out about this, rightfully so. Okay, so now what we can do is we can say, great, please create an infographic that I could put on my blog post for an episode of this podcast. And while that generates, we'll go back here. Now it shows like it timed out, but if I refresh it, it should come up. So let's see. It did. Okay, great. So 3 stocks that crushed it this week and 2 that tanked. NVIDIA, MH1, whatever that is, and leave a comment on how your portfolio did this week. I mean, I hope you guys see that this is really powerful stuff because it allows you to start generating content really quickly so you can start fanning things out and getting people to your stuff. So like, just think about this as well, okay? We're going to show you one more thing. While we're waiting for that image, we're jumping around a bit, but it's exciting stuff. So let's say we took our transcript here, okay? Just do that. And we're going to paste this into Notebook LM. And Notebook LM is kind of like Google's tool that allows you to really funnel and concentrate on a specific topic. And what's great about this is that I can actually feed it all the different sources. So I could feed it my transcript, I could feed it my blog post, I could feed it my audio, I could give it basically everything, including YouTube videos. And then I can ask it questions based on that and get answers back. So I can like repurpose my content with that in a really easy way. And one of the new updates that they offer is they offer the mind map. So what this allows us to do is we can actually generate a basically like we could break out our topics into all the different sub niches that would get people interested in what we have to say. So let's just open this up, right? So we're talking about navigating the volatile stock market, breaks out into recession risks and probabilities, a tariff-driven market uncertainty, market analysis and strategies. And what's great about this is you can literally start using this stuff to promote your podcast. You could just make a bunch of posts about all these different things because they break out further and further. Earnings revisions, Fed policy, growth negative factors, bottom calls and positive signs. I mean, this is all stuff that people that are heavily dealing with stock markets, finance, stuff like that, they know what these things are. And these are very low competition keywords that people would be looking up on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, etc. And it's going to draw them to your show in a natural way. So we could actually see that these things even break out even deeper. And for instance, like money manager actions, buying quality on sale, focus on the real economy, dollar cost averaging, whatever a DCA is, AI stock focuses. And all of this stuff is just surface area for you to be discovered. And you can do this with any topic. All you have to do is learn how to use these tools, and it's going to give you so many ideas. So actually what's great about this is if you went through and you created a piece of content, Facebook post, a TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, and you hit all of these different things and you funneled all those people right to your blog post, well, then you've got yourself a really successful social media campaign because you're not just like posting random stuff anymore. It's very focused, and people that are interested in the bear market strategy are likely going to be interested in the navigating the volatile stock market. I hope you guys see how that connects. Now what we can do is we're just going a little deeper and a little deeper here. You could download this, and so we could take this actual PNG file, right? So that's like the breakdown. And what I'm going to do is I could actually feed that to ChatGPT. So we made an infographic here talking about the stock market. I'll just refresh it. So Ferrari and Trump auto tariffs, right? Market reaction. Here's the news, the impact on Ferrari, potential customer behavior, etc. Now put a call to action with that asks for user feedback, what they think, plus where they can get more information in the comments. We will provide a link. That's going to generate. While that's going, we'll open up yet another one. And what I can do here is I could actually bring this in. And this is our mind map that we created. And we could say, using this mind map, help me come up with 50 Pinterest pin ideas for the volatile stock market. And let's see what it comes up with. So here we go. Recession risks and probabilities, right? Is a recession coming? Experts weigh in. Bear market strategies. Are you ready for the next market crash? How to spot a recession signals before everyone else. All these things, they can all tie into your blog post, your podcast episode, your blog post with your podcast episode. It all goes into one thing. Let's check in on this image here. Still cooking. We'll continue down. Tariffs, how tariffs are affecting the stock market. Do you guys see how this can work for a podcast? How you can actually start generating 50, 75, 100 different pins or posts about this stuff? Because if you can understand that and realize that you're not spamming, you're actually providing real value in what you're posting. And that's kind of the key thing here, because with AI, it's easier than ever to spam. If you really wanted to, you could just flood an account with 1,000 posts, and it's just junk and garbage, and you see it all day, every day. If you scroll through Facebook, I see it all the time. But if you can actually do it in a way that provides actual value, then not only is the algorithm going to reward you, but people are actually going to want to consume your content. So it's all about providing help, it's all about providing value, and you can actually provide that value by giving them good stuff with it. And that includes basically everything that's provided here. Anyway, if you guys found this interesting, please let me know. I'm interested in this stuff. I hope you guys were able to follow along. I know I jumped around a bit, but as always, thank you for sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next video very soon.